You look at school reopenings, and I appreciate Dr. Fauci and Dr. Walensky both said, if you follow the CDC guidance, which says socially distance and wear a mask, every school should be open today. And yet about half of our schools in America are not educating kids in the classroom. And the science is real clear on this. Long-term damage is being done to those kids. Some are committing suicide. Some are turning to drugs. Some have lost a generational ability to have the same opportunity as anyone else. This is a national disgrace. 10 years from now, people are going to look back and go, how did America let that happen to a generation of kids where for over a year they did not learn the same way as everybody else in America learned? When you watch a teachers union head send his kids to private school while telling the teachers in the public school system that they shouldn't teach kids in the classroom. You want to talk about racial disparity in this country? This is a national disgrace that's occurring before our very eyes. And instead of waiting 10 years and looking back on, how did we lose a generation of millions of young kids? Let's do something about it now. Every one of us should be able to stand up, Mr. Chairman, Republican and Democrat. Say whatever you think of unions, whatever you think of school choice. If your school system doesn't want to educate your kids in the classroom, and the science says do it, absolutely do it. If you want to take their money and not educate their kids, shouldn't you be able to take that money somewhere else where they're willing to educate your kid? Because your kid's going to lose his opportunity at life if this goes on. So much damage has already been done. We've got to undo the damage. And the science, the medical science, backs it up. The American Academy of Pediatrics, CDC. You don't need to look far. You don't need to reinvent the wheel because it's out there. What you can do to open schools today. You don't need billions more dollars. We've spent billions of dollars to reopen schools. The bill that was passed, the $1.9 trillion massive spending bill, over 90% of which had nothing to do with COVID medicine, the money going to schools wasn't even dedicated to opening schools. And so people would beg the question, what's the money for then? Because I want my kid back in school. It's denying that kid opportunity. They're committing suicide. We ought to be concerned about those numbers.